Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Omar. It is Sunday, January 5th, 2020, 2:41 p.m., and I'm making a watch list for tomorrow. So, according to the algo on the YouTube, people on average tune in for like 7 minutes. So, I'm gonna try to make this quick and painless. So, here's my watch list for tomorrow. Action has been hot. Sava has been hot, and it's on my watch list for tomorrow. So, over the last 30 days, it's been trading of an average of 5 million shares. Over the last 5 days, it's been trading 12 million shares. And on Friday, it traded 30 million shares, right? So, it had this huge rip on Friday. And then it kind of like, dumped right before the close. I think a lot of shorts are going to be in this. And what I'd be looking for, these are the key levels that I mapped. Okay, so anywhere where the stock bounces, I usually use the 15-minute time frame. Anywhere I see big bounces, this is where I map. And what you also want to do is you always want to start by looking at like the yearly time frame just to see, what's it done through its history. As you can see, it got to an 11 and dumped. Why? Because back in what year was this? 2016. This is where it had a lot of bag holders. All right, so all of those people sold into that push, and that's why it dumped there. But this is a stock. Let me move this out the way for a minute. This is a stock that has squeezed in the past. These days, they didn't have a lot of volume. You can see not a lot of volume, but it has squeezed in the past. So as far as tomorrow, what I expect, obviously nobody knows what a stock's gonna do, so you play the price action. So, as you can see that all these people who bought into this got dumped on, right? And then it gapped up and then it dumped. Why did it dump? Because all these people who got dumped on here before the close, when the push came here, they sold into that. And that's why it sold off. But it's consolidated here. Now, we don't know what's going to happen pre-market, right? So I just kind of wait to see what happens based off pre-market. But my expectation is that this is going to start dumping, and somewhere between 850 and 794 it should consolidate. Now if I see it gap down and it kind of hold one of these levels at the open, and I see a stack of bidders, I might just take some quick action off this. I don't know which is going to be my main play until pre-market close to the opening bell to know where the stock stands. But I just play the price action. So let's say, for example, let's say the stock, I don't know, just consolidates pre-market and then just starts spiking. Well, I'd be looking, I wouldn't touch it until it got to this $10 mark to see. If it hits here, I'm looking to go short. What I usually do is I'll put like a couple of feeler orders. So I'll have a short order out, just living out here waiting to get executed. A couple of, and that, because I have E-Trade and the executions suck. So, what I try to do is I try to put my orders out in advance in anticipation of a move. Well, I'd put my orders out here just to see how it reacts. And now if it breaks and runs, then I'll, cover for my loss. But usually I can get in and I can get that quick price action. So, what I expect is to spike here, reject, and then bounce down. And, you're going to at least at a minimum get maybe $1. $1 on that short. So you can, and a lot more if it's done. Let's say the play is done and no more buyers are coming in. I mean, this thing is heading back to $6, even back to $5. Not to say they would get back there tomorrow, but we'll see. Now, if shorts are piling in here and let's say it retests and it doesn't, like, let's say it just starts like selling off and then it finds like support here and then it starts ramping up and holds, then go long, because it's going to squeeze shorts and this thing is going to head to like 12, 13, 14, who the hell knows. That's where you got to look overhead to see, you got to see what the overhead resistance is, what's the next level above. So once it passes that $11, as you can see right here, once it passes 11, the next, there's a lot of back holders all in here, but potentially it can get back up to 13, So and then if it get through 13, who knows where this shit can go? This can go maybe to 16, because there's a lot of holders in this area. So it's something that I would play, get in and get out. Price action dictates everything, but I would just take some meat of this and then just move on, because this is a very volatile stock. All right, so that's my thesis on Sava. Next up is LPTX. So LPTX, the reason why this is on my watch list is, let me go 1 year. All right, so as you can see, this is all these biotechs are all moving. This stock was at 57 cents, and it's been just grinding up, and it got to a height of 116, pulled back, and then gapped up, right? And then it gapped up to this 195 level and sold off because there's all these, all these bag holders up in this level. But what I like about the chart is that it's consolidating at 132. So what I'd be looking to see tomorrow is that you see it's just consolidating here after that 220 kind of bottomed here at the open. So it got to 132, and then it grinded back up to 194, and then it consolidated at 150, pushed back up to 178, and now it's grinding down. So what I look to see is that, obviously this is all based on what I see happen pre-market, but if it can hold this range, and let's say at the market it dumps and it bounces and retests this level, I'd be looking to short it, because all these guys are going to panic and want to get the hell out, and this shit is going to head back to like 116. Now, if it holds 150, so let's say at the market open, for whatever reason, it just says sideways and it kind of like dips below and then starts forming, and then you see buyers coming in, then take it long. Take it long, and at least you could see it, at least it's going to retest that 180. Or maybe even the 195 level. So that's what I'd be looking. Nice, simple, easy play. Maybe this doesn't do anything. Maybe it's a dud. We'll see. Because, generally, this doesn't trade anything. But it had a lot of volume on Friday. So that's why it's on the watch list. Next up is Billy. Now, Billy's a stock that has a lot of range, that moves fast. So you got to be careful when you trade this stock. But the reason why I like Billy is, let's look at the 1 year. Okay, so Billy, actually, let me go further back. Let's do the 10-year. I just want to show you guys something. So you can see, I'm sorry, let me start with the 1 year. There was something I wanted to emphasize. All right, so with the 1 year, it just had a breakout. Okay, so this was the 1 year high, which was the high of 2150. As you can see, this was the 1 year high, and it tested that, and then it tested that 1 year high here, and then it just dumped, right? And then and then post market it dumped some more, and then pre market it ripped and broke the 1 year high and gapped up and pulled back. You see this level here, this 2270. This is the all-time high for Billy. So if I go back, you can see as of June 14th, 2018, 2070 was the all-time high. So what I would be looking to see is, you see it gap up, you see it consolidating. I want to see what's going to happen. It's going to pull back to the breakout level, so the 1 year high level, hold, and then start ripping. Or is it going to break down to that 2120 level where all the buyers stepped in and then take it long? So one of these levels, I'd be looking to see if it holds, I would go long. But let's say it starts breaking down at the open. If it holds this, I'm going long, and I'm looking to potentially see how it reacts to 22. But if it breaks above and tests 22 and just rejects it, you could short it. But I think the stock is bullish, so I would rather be on the right side of the trend. I would want to see a dip and then break. But the other trade I'd be looking at is, let's say if it starts ripping and it retests at 2270, it may dump there. It may dump and then may, like bounce here at this 21, 20 level, and then rip and then break to all-time high. So I think the stock is bullish. I would say, look for an area to buy a dip as opposed to taking a short. If you're going to take a short, take a quick short, get in, get your money, get out. But I think it's bullish and it can continue higher. It's a NASDAQ stock. All these NASDAQs are running, all these biotechs are running. I forget what type of stock Billy is. Let me see. It's one of these Chinese stocks. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Come tomorrow. Next, MBOT. I've seen this happen so many times where you have these. So MBOT is been a big pain in the ass. They had like 2 offerings, and so everybody thought, oh, this shit is just gonna tank and go to nothing because it had offerings, right? This is their 20-year chart. I'm not gonna go that far. Let's just do 5 years. All right, this is a stock that has run back in the past to back in 2019, earlier 2019. This ran almost to $20, so a high of 1940, and then just died down. But look what happened when it died down. It had these moments of gap ups before it completely collapsed, and it's sort of doing it again. So you see how it had that first red day first green day after all these red days. I had a second one. So I think it's probably bearish, but what you may see tomorrow, and let me see right here, I'm gonna zoom out. All right, so you can see that this is where it spiked. Let me Go back. Okay, yeah, here we go. Much better. So this is where it spiked, right? And it's been just sort of like, and this is my favorite pattern. When a stock has a big rip like this and then it dumps, it closes weak. The next day I like to short into a spike. So I wait into a spike to a key resistance level, and then I like to short it. And if you notice, it keeps doing that every time it fades. Now here it had the spike pre-market and then dumped, but look at the day after, it spikes and it goes right into the overhead resistance and then dumps. That's what I like. That's my favorite pattern to short. You can do that tomorrow on CEI if you find the shares. And what was the other one? CEI and oh god, I forgot the name of the stock. It'll come back to me in a minute. SC, I think it was SCS. It might have been SCS. Let me see. Was it SCS? Yeah. Oh, SCS. I didn't even put this on the watch list, but this should be on the watch list for tomorrow too. I'll put that on in a second. All right. Let me get back to the stock that I was talking about, which was MBOT. Let's go back to MBOT. Okay. So with MBOT, you see how it's been gapping down ever since, and it found its support here at 985, and then now it's gapping up again. Now, what I'd like to see, I bet you this may not have a lot of volume pre-market. It might be like you know, just leveling off here. But if it holds, even pre-market, if it has volume and it holds 1165, take it long, because I think what's going to happen is it's going to gap up and then retest this 1381 somewhere in this level and then reject, and you can take it long and you can take it short. Now but if it starts gapping up and if it can break 1385 and then get to like 1536, which I don't think it will, I mean, there's none. This may just start squeezing shorts, because they may be shorts piling in, risking this, then risking this, then risking this, and the volume comes in. They just have to buy the cover, and it just keeps running. So just keep an eye out on that. That's what I'd be looking to take it long here, cover somewhere in the $13 area, 1385 area, and then if you have the shares to short, if it gets up near this area, go short, risking off that level. All right, and then I have the next one up is RAD, but I'm gonna add SCS, and we'll do that together here. RAD is the next one. So RAD, oh my god, I made a killing on trading this long and short. I took a swing position on this. I did so well on the swing long, and then I got a couple of shorts, fantastic shorts on this and longs. Both ways I've been playing this. So this is what I think is gonna happen. So RAD, there's no reason why this should be at $23, but it should even got up here, but it did. So you know, it's been like gapping down ever since, and you can see what this is 54 million shares. It's not a big heavy float, but every time when a stock has these gap downs and has these spikes, it's always gonna get pulled back into an overhead resistance level. That's why I love to track these big gappers and short these bounces, you know. So you can see like it bounced here, but it got rejected right here. Why? Because this is where the overhead bag holders were. So once it got here, it just dumped, you know. And you can see it dumped some more, and it found support here where buyers got. And so I think it's on a downward trend. Like if I'll show you a trick with Thinkorswim. If you put minus RAD, it reverses the chart. And look, it's just if you look at the chart in reverse, right? It's doing it. This is like would be to consider it to a gap up, right? Because you can see it. You see it gapping up, pulling back, then gapping up, then pulling back, then gapping up, then pulling back right into support, then gapping up, then pulling back. But where previous support was, you see that? You see that right there? And now it's gapping up right here, and then it's pulling back. So what do you think it's going to do? It's going to gap up to this level and then pull back, which is, now if we put the chart back to the way it's supposed to look, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to gap down, it's going to gap back up, and then it's going to break down, and it's heading back to 1136. That's where I think it's heading. So if you can get short shares to short of RAD, I would look for a spike in the open to short into, and just hold it all day. If you could trade options, get those puts and just ride it down back to 1142. But once it breaks 1142, this stock is heading all the way back down to $8. So you can take some long-term puts on this and make a fucking killing. Now, last but not least, SCS. I'm gonna do this right now, and let's look at the chart. So SCS got hit a high of 13 pre-market, right, on Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna map that here. Oops. And then the low was here, right around this 854 level, right? So this is kind of like a wishy-washy chart, but you can see at the pre-market there was a lot of action. It based here in pre-market, right? And then it gapped up here, and then the market opened, and then it kind of got up to here, and then it just faded. right? Just faded all the way down. So what I would be looking to see is at the open, I would like to see it gap up and see if it retests this $10 level. And if it can't hold $10, take it short. It's probably heading back down to 8. But that's only if you can find shares, because this is a stock that more than likely you're not going to be able to short. It has 1.3 million shares, so you need the broker for it. So, but if it's fading at the open and it holds, you could take this long for a quick little scalp and just ride it up. Remember, as soon as you go long, to hold your discipline, put your order out there to sell. Just put it out there wherever if you think it's gonna hit, if your price target is 10, put it a few cents below, because it doesn't always reach there, and that way it keeps you honest and keeps you disciplined. Now, what could happen, because the float is so low, that somebody could technically just buy the float and just squeeze shorts every time and ride this back up. Now, if this is going according to plan, this is going to head back down to 7. But doesn't mean tomorrow potentially it can't break that $10 level, pull back, consolidate, rip over 10, and if it holds 10, you can take it long. You just got to be careful, because these low floaters, they move really, really fast. All right. And I had other stocks. I mean, I could put Facebook and Apple and all this, but it looks like you guys don't tune in. So leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. If you want me to do, some watch lists specifically geared towards like the large caps, I can do that too. Just give me some feedback. I need some engagement in order to like push this. All right. So, another great thing you should know, Thinkorswim is going to pair up with the DAS platform. That means you're going to be able to get direct market access trading, which is I can't even begin to tell you how incredible that is. So that's going to be on par with Speed Trader, Centerpoint, all those boutique brokers that have direct market access. Thinkorswim is about to offer that too, which is I think is probably scaring the shit out of all of them right now. All right, so let me know what you think. Watch me, follow me on Instagram, watchotrade, on Twitter, watchotrade, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy trading tomorrow.